Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to simplify radicals. And now in this video tutorial, we are focusing on perfect square, alright? So then what I'm going to show you right now is that I want to tell you that when we have a square root of 1, and 1 is a perfect square which is equal to 1, right? And 4, which is a perfect square, and then square root of 4, which is equal to 2. The reason is that we can be written as square root of 2 square. And now square root can be simplified with the square here, and then that will be equal to 2. And now we have square root of 9. Square root of 9, and 9 could be written as 3 square. When we simplify square with the square root, then we get 3. Okay, and then square root of 16, and 16 can be written as 4 square. So then it is equal to 4. Alright, and then square root of 25, and 25 could be written as 5 square. And then that will be equal to 5. That is easy, right? Okay, so square root of 36, and 36 could be written as 6 square. Alright, and then that will be equal to 6. Alright, so now then we can move on to the next numbers. Okay, so now we have square root of 49. So square root of 49, which is equal to square root of 7 square. Then that will be equal to 7. Yeah, and here is square root of 64 could be written as square root of 8 square, then equal to 8. And square root of 81, which is equal to square root of 9 square, then equal to 9. And square root of 100 could be written as square root of 10 square. Yeah, then equal to 10. We have square root of 121 could be written as square root of 11 and raised to square, then equal to 11. And here we have square root of 144, we could be written as square root of 12 and raised to square, then equal to 12. Yeah, so now what I want you to remember is that we could remember that square root of a perfect square, which is given us a digit numbers. Alright, so when we can remember these important part of radicals, so we can simplify non-perfect square radicals. So now let's move on to the next level of radicals. Okay, let's say when we have square root of 18. So how can we simplify square root of 18? If we want to know how to simplify this radical, we have to make the numbers under the square root here, which is 18 here, to have the multiples of a perfect square. So 18 could be written as 9 times 2. Okay, so then that will be equal to square root of 9 and then times with square root of 2. This rule, you have to remember that when we have square root of a and b, and then that will be equal to square root of a times square root of b. Okay, so we can separate it into two products. Okay, so okay, let's move back to our original question here. As we already have written in previous minutes, 9 could be written as square root of 3 square. So then multiply with square root of 2, and square root of 3 raised to square, which is equal to 3. So then that will be equal to 3 square root of 2. Alright, that means square root of 18, which is equal to 3 square root of 2. Okay, let's look at the another example. So let's say we have 12 here, and then how can we simplify this square root? Okay, so now as we can see, 12 could be written as 4 times 3, then equal to square root of 4 times square root of 3. Okay, and then square root of 4, which is equal to 2, and that will be 2 square root of 3 is the answer. Okay, alright, this is just a very important part for how to simplify the radicals. So let's say move on to the next one. If we have square root of 18, that will be plus with square root of 50. Okay, and then let's say how can we calculate this. So first of all, we have to simplify this radical, and next simplify this radical. So then as we have already seen that we have square root of 18, which is equal to 3 square root of 2. So that will be equal to 3 square root of 2. Square root of 50, which is equal to square root of 25 times 2 equal to. So we just keep this still the same. Alright, and then here we have square root of 25 times 2. So square root of 25, which is equal to 5, and then that will be 5 square root of 2. Because 2 is not a perfect number, so it can't be simplified with the square root. Okay, so now as we can see, we have square root 2 and square root 2 here. So then we can add together, which is 3 add with 5 here. That will be equal to 8 square root of 2. Alright, or we can be written this part here, factorizing square root of 2. So then we get 3 plus 5. So 3 plus 5, which is equal to 8. Then we can be written as 8 square root of 2. That is the answer. Okay, let's say if we have bigger numbers, this is just an example, right? So then minus square root of 200. Okay, so then we have to simplify these radicals and this radical. So then 242 could be written as 121. 121 is a perfect square. Okay, and then multiply with 2. So 121 multiplied with 2, which is equal to 242, minus 200 here could be written as 100 times 2. Okay, so 100 is a perfect square. So then now for this radical, which is equal to 11 square root of 2, because square root of 121 equal to 11. Alright, and 2 is not a perfect square, so it can't be simplified with the radicals. And then minus. So 100 is a perfect square of 10. So that will be equal to 10 square root of 2. Okay, so then as we can see, we have the same radical here. So what we can do, we can just take 11 minus 10. That will be equal to 1 square root of 2. 1 square root of 2 actually could be written as square root of 2. Alright? Okay, so let's move to a bigger questions. So let's say if we have this. So in order to calculate this, what we have to do, we have to simplify the radical here. So let's do it together. So we have square root of 27 could be written as square root of 9 times 3. Okay, and then plus 2 square root of 12 could be written as 4 times 3. Okay, and then minus sign, with minus sign it gives us plus square root of 3. Okay, so then equal to, okay, now when we simplify this one, as we can see, we have square root of 9. 9 is a perfect square, could be equal to 3. That will be 3 square root of 3 for this number. And for this one, we got 2 and 4, which is equal to 2. So 2 times 2 here, which is equal to 4 square root of 3. Alright, so then plus with square root of 3. Okay, so we have the same radicals, square root of 3 and square root of 3 here. So we plus 3, 4 and 1. So that will be equal to 8 square root of 3. That is the answer, okay? Okay, so then now we have already practiced some questions. And in this video, we are going to finish from here. But before we finish this video, I want to give you a questions to practice, which is here, cube root of 1 plus square root of 28 plus cube root of 8 minus square root of 63. Okay, so in the next video, we are going to talk about cube root. So now we have just talked about mostly is square root. Okay, so if you could give the answer to these questions, you are probably smarter than what I think. Alright, okay, so now we are going to finish this video. Okay, so now I'm going to say goodbye, and please don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel in order to get all the notifications for my latest video. And goodbye, see you in the next video.